back at it again. You already know, Sosa on the cut. And today we have Cinno in the building. That's a young independent artist that's been blowing up in the game. Tell us about your story, man.
Well, I started music really young. I don't even consider myself a rapper. I'm more like a musician, right? Because for me, I play instruments. I play the guitar, I play piano. I've been singing for a long time. But the rapping thing came naturally. It just felt right. My brother used to rap a little bit. I don't know if he's gonna appreciate me saying that because he's a pastor now, right? But,
okay, that's actually pretty interesting.
Yeah, man.
Okay. Tell us about your upbringing. Tell us about, how did you get into music?
Well, my mom, she always wanted me to be musical. Even when I was in the womb, she was putting Mozart on the headphones, trying to get me to
straight on the belly.
She wanted me to come out playing the xylophone. She just wanted me to be musical,
Yeah.
And she put me in lessons really when in grade 7 there was this school thing where they were doing a singing thing, choir, children's choir, and I happened to get the solo lead and I killed it, and she was like, oh shoot, you should get him lessons.
You actually have a serious talent for it at the time.
Yeah, but the thing was, I was such a hyper kid, and the way I learn is so unorthodox that it was difficult to find a teacher that really resonated and that could keep up with me, because he was still trying to teach me one thing and I was doing all sorts of other stuff. So she found the perfect teacher, yo.
Yeah.
I mean, he wasn't teaching me anything by the book. Everything was by ear.
Yeah. So it was unorthodox, really.
Yeah, he would play a song. He'd be like, "Do you think you can recreate that?" I'd be like, "Yeah."
Oh, for real, eh?
Yeah.
All right, that's actually pretty dope. When did you start taking music seriously?
All my life, man. To be honest, I kind of fucked off school and all that. I love school and I love to learn, but music has always been my main passion. I remember sitting in the class and the teacher was teaching, but I was rhyming things. I wouldn't even make songs.
Okay.
I would just rhyme words, bro. I had notebooks full of words that you wouldn't expect to rhyme.
Yeah.
But they sound good together.
You'd put it away. You'd put it in a sentence.
Yeah.
All right, make it work. That's actually pretty dope. Tell us about what's one of the aspects of music that you that you enjoy the most? In that sense, do you enjoy, building a symphony? Do you enjoy, putting your lyrics together? Do you enjoy, performing in front of your, fans and all your people alike? Which aspect of music do you enjoy the most as an artist?
They say that with art, there's a zone. Similarly to there's a zone with athletes when they're playing basketball and when they're playing sports. And you get into this space where it becomes effortless action. Yeah. It just starts doing itself.
It just flows?
You feel like something is taking a hold of you. And that space has become addictive for me. It's at the point where I'm chasing to find the next time I'm gonna sit there. And because I've been chasing it so long, it's become easy for me to step in and out of it. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And I find because a lot of artists, they'll tell you, oh, I have a routine. I do exactly this and then I write.
Yeah.
But I didn't want to limit myself to needing something in order to create. So I forced myself to create in any type of climate, any situation. Oh, Lord forgive me, but I even was writing one time while I was driving. I was driving with my knees. Mans were just
danger zone, eh?
Crazy. Yeah, man, it's crazy. Yo, I'm sorry, people on the road, if there's anyone I might have.
Hey, man, you're writing bars, right?
Yeah, because when the creativity hits,
it hits.
Sometimes you don't want to wait.
Yeah. You just gotta put it to work, right? You gotta save the information, save all that stuff, and put it together some other time. But hey, man, I respect that. Not a good idea to drive and write at the same time, but
I'll never do it again, as long as I live.
Oh man. So, else from your own music, what current music are you listening to right now?
I got into a space where I was listening to music and I was comparing myself a lot. I was comparing myself to other artists. I was comparing my sound. But then I started to realize that my sound is so unique in and of itself that I can just continue to listen to my own music and find ways to build upon it. But the problem with that is when you keep listening to tracks that you haven't completed, you start to build a box around it.
Yeah.
Because you start to get familiar with that draft,
Yeah.
even though technically you should still be making tweaks, right?
Yeah.
So I started just not listening to music at all.
Oh, for real? Okay.
Only recently, like we used to just not listen to music in the car, or you know, my fiance would play something like I don't know, she loves everything.
Okay,
she's playing rock, she's playing country.
Diversity of music, eh?
She's way more diverse than me, you know. Like I'm gonna be honest here. Like as an artist, she's really inspirational in that way as well.
No, we definitely have the exclusive. You know what I mean? It was a good interview, so both things are going to be to keep an eye out for sure. But you know what? With that being said, we were talking about a little bit off camera. You were talking about your 3 projects, your 3 mixtapes that you have. Tell us about it.
Well, you know, Cinno Evil was a really special one. And I mean special. Like the way that it was created. I have a friend. We've been friends for years. He goes by Northwave. He's a producer. Now he has a song with YNW Melly and like he's doing all these things. But back then, you know, we didn't have anything to our name. And we were just like, let's drop everything and let's just make something beautiful. You know? He was in engineering at the time. I was in music business administration at Durham College. And yeah, we just went to his dorm and every day we'd turn up at night. We'd wake up and we'd just record. Backwoods, flaming, mans were lit. Sometimes mans weren't even writing. Like the mic would just hit record and I would just freestyle something and be like, that's it right there. It's abstract art because it wasn't very structured, you know?
Yeah, but what's your perspective on that overall, on just the abstract art aspect in general? Like you just, essentially, so you're just working with the flow, right? Overall?
Well, to be honest, that's how I would describe my music. It's extremely abstract. If you listen to my music, it doesn't necessarily sound like everyone else. And I know a lot of artists say that, but like for me, it's more so because even though I'm using tunes sometimes and sometimes not, sometimes I forget about structure. I create without rules sometimes. Like if you listen to my music, there's no chorus sometimes. Sometimes there's a bridge out of nowhere. You know, like I just throw random compilations of sounds together.
And you make it work.
And I make it work. Sometimes I'm structured, but it depends.
Hey, it's okay with working with chaos, right? In that sense, something nice can come out of it. 100%, right? So speaking of which, so was that your first mixtape?
That was the first one I ever made. Very special, man.
Okay.
Very special.
Tell us about the other ones. I know you had 2 more.
Yeah, so Darkest of Roads, I guess that was when I realized that I'm different and I had to separate myself from the pack. So when you look at the art, it's a lone wolf because I realized that's what I had to become in order to get my meal. In order to hunt in this world, I had to hunt by myself because the people I was surrounded by at that time weren't on the same type of time as me. You know what I mean? So,
you gotta limit distractions.
And even like on a personal note, during this time, you know, my family, you know, my parents got divorced and, you know, my family split apart. Like we all live in different places. There's a lot of love, but, you know, there's a lot of distance. So there was that too, you know?
That must have had an impact overall. Overall, in like, you know, making your music, overall and building. How would you say, like, I know you've mentioned that your family has been receptive of your music, right? They've been, you know, building you to go into music. How are you finding the support from your friends in general?
Well, you know what, man? Like, I remember...
like your surrounding in general.
At the beginning, man, like, there was a lot of support. There still is. And I mean, like, my friends are really the backbone of this whole operation, man. Like, even though, like, some of them I can't say that I talk to a lot or that I hang out a lot with them, I do say that they've always supported my music. And they've always held it down. They didn't come to every show, but they posted every song. You know what I mean?
That's
so
dope.
I rate it.
Yeah, it's supportive, 100%. Now, kind of the flip question. How do you handle negative criticism in that sense? When people are just either hating on your music or, you know, they have nothing good to say about it. Like, how do you deal with that type of hardship?
That's the molding clay that creates art. Criticism helps direct art to where it needs to be. The artist himself should be the most critical, in my opinion. in certain ways, obviously you need to know when a piece is finished.
For sure.
But you need to know how to delicately chip away at the mold.
Yeah.
You know, with that criticism in order to create whatever piece you want. You know?
For sure, I agree with that, right?
Yeah.
Pressure builds diamonds, so it makes sense in that sense. So.
Obviously, trust your intuition. Like, I'm not
course.
saying you randomly accept criticism and you just change it right away.
Yeah.
You got to use your own intuition, your own sense of self as well, and what you envision as well for that art. Like, one of the laws of power is plan all the way to the end.
Ooh.
You know what I mean?
I think what, 29? About 29?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, okay. That's one of my favorite books. I have first 48 Laws of Power.
Oh yeah.
Man, I must have read that at least 5 times, man.
You gotta read it, bro.
Oh, big facts, man. Yeah. Plan all the way to the end. Yeah, I like that one. Me, my personal favorite is Interaction with Boldness. That one, yo.
You got it.
Yeah, facts. Big facts. Okay, well, you know what? That's good to hear. In that sense that, you know, you're open-minded to criticism in that sense, and you're open-minded to how it affects your music, which is great. Are there any other artists that you'd like to work with if you could at this time?
My fiance's first.
Okay, I knew that was coming.
Extremely talented. I mean, the voice on her is angelic. Right?
Yeah.
And you know, her creativity transcends music. I mean, she can cook, she can draw, she can paint. You know, she just has so many talents, and her creativity is just on such a broad spectrum. You know, so I'd definitely like to work with her first.
Yeah. Okay, that's dope. I appreciate that. We appreciate you, yeah, in that sense. So that's good. I was going to ask. So let's see here. Now we already went through genres of music. I know you kind of listen to your own music in that sense, and you listen to wifey's music. Else from you too. Any other music that you're listening to? Even it could be like old hip hop music that was influential to your sound at some point.
G Herbo.
Okay.
Kind of surprising because I don't sound anything like him, but wow, man. I mean, this guy. Like, I remember watching.
He's a hustler.
Oh yeah, man. This guy's a go-getter, right? And he kind of understands what it takes to win in this world. You can tell when he talks in his interviews, right? And I remember watching the interview with him when I was maybe like 16, and he kind of was like, they're like, how many homies have you lost? He's like, oh man, I don't even know.
Yeah.
And like, you know, that type of raw emotion and like that type of raw experience really comes through in his music. You know? So that's what I respect about him, especially back then, is that he took what it was, his environment, and he was able to so calculatedly paint a picture with every song.
Well, he was a product of his environment too, right? So once you're a product of your environment, it kind of goes hand in hand in you painting that picture, right? So
absolutely.
Yeah, I agree with you on that one, 100%. I agree with you, man. I was going to ask, which ingredient do you think is the most essential in creating your style? And why would you say that would be?
I think tenacity, childlike wonder. I think those things are extremely important because my style is very youthful. Despite how old I get, I never lose that youth that I speak with on the mic because, you know, I like to speak from the soul. Yeah. Right? I don't want to grow old and grow set in my ways to the point where I no longer have a connection with my inner self, my deepest, truest self, you know? Yeah. That's deep, man. Hey, no, but it's fair in that sense, you know. Not a lot of people have that type of intuition or have that type of reflection in that sense, right? Not everyone's able to have that type of mentality, which is definitely a good thing to have. So it'll definitely transpire in your music, which is a good thing. So that's dope. Yeah, man. What do you enjoy the most about being an artist? I guess I enjoy delving into the creative act, which it's funny because off camera I was talking to one of your friends about this book by Rick Rubin called The Creative Act. And like, I'm only a quarter way through, but man, there's just so many gems, and I just really shout out Rick Rubin. He's just amazing. All right. What's the book called again? One more time. The Creative. Act. Okay. Yeah, it's amazing. It's definitely something to keep an eye out. Okay. I like that. All right. Now back to your music. What accomplishments are you the most proud of? Well, I did a couple years ago. I opened up for Rich Homie Quan, so that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Getting to see him perform after was crazy, bro. Cause you know, I don't know about you, but Quan and Thug, when they were coming up, I mean, they were really creating some emotion, man.
Yeah, they were.
Come on, bro.
Speak on that. How was your experience?
It was trying.
Yeah.
And I'm just gonna be brutally honest here when I say, like, that performance didn't go as well as I would have wanted, and it wasn't what I had envisioned.
Okay.
So it was good still. It's not like it was terrible. It's just, you know, when little things go wrong and you feel crushed, right? That's when you have the opportunity to rebuild yourself.
Yeah, very true.
I was crushed at that time because I was like, man, like I felt like that was my shot and it didn't go perfectly. But then I realized, yo, life isn't perfect.
Yeah, that's.
You know what I mean? Actually, the imperfection of life is what makes it beautiful.
Yeah.
And the imperfection in my art is what makes it beautiful.
Yeah, it makes it fruitful and it makes it relatable to other people, right? So I agree with you on that one. Hey, man. Hey, you're dropping gems today, eh? I see that. I see that. Because, hey, you know what?
I appreciate that, man.
It may not be a perfect scenario or it may have not been a perfect, show, but hey, it's still an opportunity. An opportunity is an opportunity. That's a big one too, right?
Yeah,
so definitely more to come. So yeah, had a great performance in that sense. Well, as great as it could have been in that sense. How was watching the show afterwards?
Man, you know, it was bittersweet because, you know, as much as I love Quan, I love his energy, I loved his music, I was still kind of beating myself up, hung up upon the experience. And, you know, I went home and I told my manager, I was like, man, yo, I don't know how the hell they messed up my track. Like, it wasn't playing right. And he just kind of was like, so what are you going to do now?
Yeah.
Are you going to sit around and talk about it? Or are we going to go get this next show?
Yeah. Which is all you could really do, right?
And that's what we did, bro.
One step.
We're just like, all right.
Yeah, one step ahead of the other. You know, in that sense, like, you have to keep on going. You can't just stay stuck on the past and beat yourself up for something that didn't go perfect.
Exactly.
All you can do is, master the next performance.
Yeah.
Which is great. All right. What has been the most difficult thing that you've had to endure as an artist?
Oh, man. There's so many things, man. I mean, because as an artist, you're just a living projector of life as an experience as a whole. That's your job. Your job is to tell the story of life.
Sell an experience, essentially.
Yeah, you got to sell. Exactly. Yeah. You got to sell something. And, you know, like, the most difficult thing I probably had to experience, if I had to say something, would probably be just finding myself as an artist. And that took some time, and even now I haven't done it. And to be honest, I realized that the more I look, the more I realize I'm not supposed to. Yeah. Because it's supposed to be a never-ending journey. Yeah. You're supposed to be constantly looking for it.
Constantly trying to improve as well.
And telling the story as you go along. Yeah. And if the story gets finished, then you've limited your art.
That's right. What I'm saying? Yeah, very true. Once the story's done, there's nothing to be added, right? Yeah. So, hey, man, that's... So, with that type of mindset, how has it had an impact to your music,
It's made me, at times, I lost my way and I became hypercritical. Like, I mean, down to the very wire. I was just cutting things, I was adding things, and things weren't dropping. And my fans were kind of like, hey, like, what's going on? You know, you haven't been dropping music. And it was just, I was like, don't worry, I'll get to it. But really, I was in a tug of war with myself. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you wanted to make sure that it was perfect. Yeah, man. But that's tough in that sense, because it's like, hey, if you're always trying to find mistakes where there aren't any, you know what I mean? You're only going to create yourself your own problem, right?
And if you're looking for a mistake, you'll see one.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, very true. It's all based on perspective, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, if you weren't pursuing music, because we've been talking a whole lot about music, if you weren't pursuing music, what would you be doing?
I have many different talents and loves. That's also my problem.
Speak on it.
Like, I'm a martial artist at my core.
Okay.
You know, I'm I love nunchucks.
Okay.
I have nunchucks at home. Oh, look. You know, I don't have nunchucks at home, actually. Have mercy. You know.
Yo, I'm not gonna hate. I have a sword downstairs. You
Yeah,
know? I got you.
bro.
So,
But nah, for real, like, you know, because my dad, he was a martial artist, you know, and his brothers were all martial artists. Some of them owned their own dojos.
That's
so
dope.
as a child, you know, he would train me, he would teach me, and I picked it up so quick. I soaked it in. Bow staff, you know, nunchucks,
staff, that's dope.
throwing stars, everything,
Shit, alright.
bro. I had a katana too, man. Like, I was training every day. My parents got scared at one point. They were like, "Hey, yo,
we're trying to hurt.
we gotta take this kid, you know, like, what's going on?" Like, yeah, man, it was like that, bro. But, you know, it was just a passion. And I feel like, as a man, what are you if you can't be dangerous? But
Very true.
It doesn't mean, like, go and start fights. It just means, like, you have to be capable of it.
Yeah.
Because you're the protector, right?
Yeah, very true, right? You don't want to go to war and be a gardener, right? So, you know the saying. I was going to ask, all right, well, you know what? That's actually pretty, well. So you have martial arts, okay. Trying to be a killer, I see you. Else from that, okay, so you're doing martial arts. Actually, speaking of which, how do you find that that's translated to your music? The discipline of doing a martial arts?
Well, you know, when I get in the studio, I'm focused. Like, I can lock in for hours.
Oh, for real? Okay.
Hours. And I think the discipline of, you know, training my body and honing my mind in that way, I think that's where it transcends. Like, even archery, man. Like, I got a longbow at home.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, you know, I go crazy, man. Even, you know, my fiance, I get her to shoot sometimes.
Longbow, eh? Okay.
Yeah, man, I got all of it.
Serious shit, all right.
Oh, yeah, man. I
Yeah.
love it, bro. I love to hunt. I love to be outside. I love to fish.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know? Like,
Be
I'm
in
not
nature.
ashamed of saying it. Like, I remember people used to make fun of me when I was younger. They're like, like, you're not even black, like, you hunt, you do
Don't
it.
listen to them,
But
man.
this is an essential skill,
Yeah,
dog.
of course.
Like, you gotta,
Yeah.
well, obviously, you know, there's grocery stores. It's not like you gotta go kill a rabbit to eat, but
But somebody can't, you know, some people can't take care of themselves, man.
I'm telling you.
Yeah, some people cannot take it, like, without this technology, without these little things, these phones, man, yo, that's it.
Yeah, finish.
So it's, nowadays, people can't even read a freaking analog clock, right? So let's really think on that, bro. So, hey, man, it's kudos to you, man. That's not a bad thing to have, man. Me, I like to go fishing with my buddy, see why I'm not a big fisher, he does, though. But, yo, it's a good skill to have, right?
Oh, yeah.
Might as well teach someone how to fish and, yo, try to go and buy that shit at the store every time and you're done.
And
Right?
the patience that it teaches you. And not even, like, angry patience. You learn to love the weight.
Yeah,
You learn to love
to appreciate it.
the like, you just sit there and you're watching. You're calm, you know? It's crazy. Amazing.
Back to music, I was going to ask you, what do you think is a barrier that we have in general, that you guys have? I'm not an artist, but what do you think is one of the barriers that you guys have as an artist coming from Ottawa?
Well, because of the way I see the world, I see no barriers. I don't see any
All right.
obstacle, and I see no opponent. I don't see the world like that. There's never been anything that I've wanted that I felt like I couldn't have,
Okay.
and I felt like I couldn't train myself to go get. You know, if you want it bad enough, you'll work hard enough.
Very true.
That's it,
Yeah.
to me at least.
It's a state of mind, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I agree with you on that one, man. Okay. Damn. What do you think? Okay. You answered that question a little bit too well, man. Shit. I was going to say, what do you think are, I know you may not see it as barriers, but do you find that there's limitations being from the city that we're in?
Yeah, man. Like I said, bro. Like, my mindset is actually limitless.
Yeah.
I just don't see it like that.
All right. Fair enough. Okay, how was I gonna say it? I was gonna say, so. Well, we have the 3 mixtapes that we've heard. What's next? What's next on the board?
Well, you know, like, I have a music video coming out in about a month.
What's it called?
It's called Do It Again, or Did It Again. Sorry, Lord have mercy. So many songs. My goodness. But yeah, man. So that's gonna be crazy.
It's
and,
good
you
to have a
know,
catalog, bro.
Yeah, of course. And you know, the catalog, when you look back, you know, you really get to appreciate and savor all that you've done, and it helps you continue, right?
Yeah.
So there's that, and there's also a couple shows I got coming up. Like I'm doing one in Pembroke. You know, we just finished doing one in Toronto. We did the Beyond the Stars thing with, oh yeah, shout out THT, you know, shout out my man, Rossi Ross, DJ Rossi Ross.
Big shout out.
Jason, you know, these guys, I mean, they're so dedicated. Also my guy Colin Hassel on the drums. I mean, yo, this guy, bro, these musicians, man, live, bro, I'm telling you, it's crazy. Anyway, yeah, man.
Do you have any specific vision in mind for your career?
Well, I envision that I'll just continuously compound upon myself. So like, I want to build on what I have and let what I have build as well with me.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
let it be a compound effect and just let it build on its own.
Which means I want to insert enough value within the song that I create that when you listen to it, it just continuously gives you value no matter how many times you hear
It
it.
becomes a classic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then that's when you get the compounding effect, right?
Yeah, I see. Now, we've been talking about all your latest music. Let's talk about your first song. Tell us about it.
Oh man, like I remember the first time I actually hopped in the studio, man, this is like ancient history, but my boy, you know, he had everything. Shout out Jake Donaldson, you know, that's my guy, day one. But this guy had a whole studio set up when we were kids. And at the time, I was maybe like 15, and I was into it with some older guys. Like, I mean, like these guys were out of high school already. And they were talking about they were gonna kill me.
Oh.
So I made a song called Believe It When I See It.
Okay.
And basically the song was like, man say they're gonna murder me, I'll believe it when I see it.
All right. Something catchy too. Okay.
So it was a diss track. My first song was just
A diss track.
like saying like, if you guys think you have what it takes, come try it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Who's doing that over there, bro? Like, let's be honest. Like, it's not like that. You know?
Yeah, it makes sense. I don't think I've asked you this question before. What's your favorite song of all time? And it can't be one of your own songs. It has to be a different song. It has to
Favorite. Wow, what a power question. I like that. That's crazy. I think this is gonna be a weird one, but it's probably Song Cry by Jay-Z.
Oh, okay.
Oh man, bro. I don't know what
That was a
it
classic.
is. I don't know what it is about that track.
It's
bro.
the blues, right?
It's so good, man. It's something about, and the video too, like how he comes from nothing.
Yeah.
You know, you see him whipping the old whip, and he just all of a sudden has everything, and now he's struggling
That's a
with
flashback.
himself.
Yeah,
You remember this
that's a
video?
flashback.
Bro,
Yeah,
this
just
video
thinking
was
about
crazy.
it. Yo, it was. Yeah, it's a
man.
classic.
Yeah, bro.
I ain't mean to make the song cry. Yeah. Shout out Jay. Eh? All right, fair enough. Okay. Else from Jay, because Jay Hope. All right, we already know.
Yeah.
Else from Hope. Who else you have? Rush them out.
Okay, so I got Hove, I got J. Cole, I got Kendrick. Man, I don't listen to Kendrick too much actually. I might have to take him out. I
Why?
love Kendrick. I
Okay.
love Kendrick,
Okay.
but I didn't soak him in enough, early enough. I loved like How to Pimp a Butterfly, I think it's called. But it was like, I don't know, man. Like I wasn't introduced to enough Kendrick. Like I'm gonna start listening to him now more.
I was about to say Kendrick versus J. Cole. Kendrick versus J. Cole, but in that sense, all right.
But yo, from what I've heard, because I've heard him rap, like I've heard like, I remember one of his first freestyles, like it's like black and white and it's in a cipher.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I do know what you're talking about.
Yo, this guy
big
is a
beat.
monster.
Yeah,
bro.
yeah,
This guy
yeah.
is a monster. Like the respect is there, bro. The
Yeah.
respect is there. I just haven't heard enough tracks.
Both artists are very influential.
Yeah, man. And
in
I
nature.
guess J. Cole, like, he really started getting vulnerable on that, man. Like, on the beat. Like, this is one of the guys who really kind of bared his soul to the world early, right? Like, he was open about his insecurities. He was open about his situation with his parents. He was open about his living conditions, his brother, all these different things, right?
People relate to stuff like that, right?
Exactly. And I mean, what are you if not open if you're going to be an artist? Then there's a facade there if you're not being open, right?
But being vulnerable is not easy.
I know.
Being vulnerable is not easy nowadays, man.
That's facts.
So it's like you're putting yourself out there. People are knowing about your whole personal history and whatnot and what's going on, and it's people make judgments on people.
It's a fact, bro.
So it takes a lot of big kudos, and it takes a lot of self-respect, I would say, to put yourself in the position to be vulnerable and have share that experience. But the good thing is about that is that it's relatable.
Yeah.
And when you show that you're able to be relatable with your fans and the people that listen to your music, then they'll ride for you till the end, right? Because they're able to connect with you, which is kind of leads back to my question I was going to ask you is, what is the one emotion that you want your fans to kind of relate to the most based on your music?
Wow, that's another powerful question.
I know, hey man.
Nah, you got it, bro. You got it. You got it like that. Well, for me, my job as an artist, I feel personally, is to take everyone through every emotion. I want you to be sad with me, happy, mad, frustrated, confused, every single emotion you can think of. And I want to do each one masterfully.
Yeah. So you want to really be able to, connect with your fans, man. Connect with your fans, and that's a good thing, right? So, hey, man, that's good. I'm happy for you. I'm happy for your music. Now, we got a little game that we're about to play. Nothing too crazy. It's called Finish the Sentence. So, the first thing I do in the morning is
take a cold shower.
All right, let's speak on that because we were talking about it. You know what I mean? Not a lot of people do that stuff. But shout out Boumaye. Boumaye is like, nah, I ain't doing that at all. Hey, man, I actually take a cold shower in the morning. Cold shower in the morning wakes you up. You're up at 5. Get stuff done.
Damn, you're up at 5, eh?
Up at 5, training at 6, man.
Stop playing.
Every day, Monday to Friday. But it's not about me, it's about you, my man.
Yeah.
What do you do in the morning?
Same. Well, for me, it's like I wake up at 7 and I take a cold shower and and then on the off day I take a cold bath. So I bought like a tub, ice.
Oh, you bought the tub, the one that you could actually go in. Yeah, I'm trying to buy that real tub.
Buy it, bro. It's so fire. Yeah.
I want to do it in the morning. It's like I don't know, man. Cold water breaks the soul, bro.
I'm telling you, bro.
Cold water breaks the soul.
It's so crazy.
That will wake you up one time. Like if you're a little groggy, man, just go cold shower. You'll be awake.
Oh, absolutely.
You're not gonna miss your alarm. You're not. You'll be awake, man.
For sure. And something about it, like when you're doing cold water immersion, like there's a stillness that you reach in your mind, bro. Where you're cold. But especially because I do it outside, the trees start looking beautiful. I start appreciating everything. I'm just like, damn.
The way I see it is personally, I see it's a battle of attrition, right? It's your mind fighting your body. Your body doesn't want to be in that cold water, not one bit. But it's that mental discipline for you to be able to stay in that cold water, and which is what is great about that. If you're doing cold showers every day, technically, man, you're trying to conquer yourself every day, man.
Yeah, bro.
Nobody wants to chill in cold water. No. I don't. You don't. No. They don't. You know what I mean? Ain't nobody trying to chill in cold water. So it's a great way to start the day because, hey, man, if you already started with cold water, you already conquered your mind.
Yeah.
And from there, you can only build from that, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's a foundation.
Yeah, big facts. I'm telling you, man, you and I are relating really well together.
Yo, yeah, bro. That's what's up. Great minds think alike.
Big facts. So, all right. So, first thing you do in the morning, okay? Most important thing to me is
my family, my relationships that I hold dear. And family it seems like a very narrow word. Like I'm not just talking about blood, right? Like I'm talking about people
that you consider family.
Yeah, man. I'm talking about people who have been through the fire and the brimstone with me, So I even appreciate people where we can have a real argument and we can get back and we can kind of work it out. We can understand each other, and we can come to a consensus. Like, you know what, you fucked up, I messed up. How do we repair the situation?
Yeah, it's a great way to build, right?
Yeah, man.
So you're building those connections, and you're building. Being agreeable is not pleasant for everyone. Nobody wants to be agreeable 100% of the time, right? So in that sense, it's okay to have people I know exactly what you mean. I enjoy having people I disagree with because I know that, you know what? If they disagree with me, they must have their own reasoning, and they have a good reason as to why they're disagreeing. So maybe there's an aspect that's filled in my logic, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you kind of trying to mitigate and see, you know what? Maybe they're right, but also shit. You gotta take shit with a grain of sand and say, yo, you know what? Some of the shit that some of y'all are saying are pretty fucking stupid.
And there's a saying I like to say, bro, like, you lean and fall when you lean only on your own understanding.
I like that. I like that a lot. Shit, I'm about to remember that one. Real shit.
Yeah, man.
All right. Most exciting thing about 2023 is for you?
Well, wow, that's a good question. I guess the most exciting thing would be, you know, I'm getting a couple plays in place, like outside of music, you know, in terms of financials, in terms of family, in terms of building, like me and my fiance hopefully will be getting married, you know, so there's a lot of exciting things happening. And with the music as well, you know, I hope to one day build a tape with her, you know, like a collab tape that's just crazy. So I'm excited for a lot of things.
Excited for the work?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I'm excited for you guys.
Appreciate it.
Because, hey, you know what? I heard some of her music last week. I think it was a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
When we had the interview, and you know what? Her music was beautiful. Your music sounds really good. I could only imagine the level of creativity that you guys will have once you actually put it together.
Yeah,
so
I appreciate that.
It's gonna go really well. I'm excited to listen to that. What amount do you consider hood rich?
Hood rich. Wow. You know what, man? I'm not a hood man, so I don't know too much about all that. But I guess you touch 2 bricks, you're probably hood rich. I don't know. I have no idea. Like, I'm just shooting in the dark. Right?
What would you consider yourself? Like, for you, like, you know what? I'm good.
I guess for me, financially, once I generate enough assets that are generating cash flow for me, and it's to the point where now I work because I want to work. I don't work because I'm trading my time for money. That's when I feel like I've made it. Because, you know, like for me, when you're trading 2 limited resources, like your time and
for money
and your muscles,
Yeah.
right? Because you're gonna get old,
Facts.
and you're gonna die, right? So I wanna build wealth in communication. So I wanna be able to talk, make something once, like a book.
Yeah.
I'm gonna write a book.
Yeah.
And then have that book generate income for the rest of my life, right?
It's a solid plan.
Yeah, man.
Hey, I'm telling you, if the music thing doesn't work, that's just a backup right there. Well, yeah, I also have the martial arts, so. Just don't go hurt nobody with them throwing stars.
Oh,
I'm just
you know
saying.
what, man? I'm gonna try my best. I can't make no promises, right?
What would you do with your first million?
The first million would have to get reinvested into something like maybe, you know, providing more homes for people who are in need.
Time out. Million doesn't get you that far nowadays, man.
You know, you're right. Because, yo, one house is like 300,000 now. What am I talking about, bro? Okay, no. Okay, first million? Shoot, what am I doing with that? I guess I just buy...
Straight to the casino? No? All on red?
Bro, what am I doing with $1 million now? What the hell? You can't really do much with that.
Yeah, you're right. Well,
I guess I just fund the music.
That's not a bad idea.
Yeah,
That's not a bad idea. You can fund your entire new project. Hey, man. You can pay off a mortgage if you really wanted to, but...
Fuck, man. I mean, mortgages right now, bro, I don't even know. This whole housing thing is just crazy right now.
Oh, I don't want to talk about that right now. I know exactly what you're talking about, and trust me, man, the way that the interest rates are going up, let's just say I'm happy I bought my crib when I did.
You already got the crib. Let's go. Excellent. I love seeing the excellence, you know? It's amazing.
Hey, man, I appreciate that, man. My last question for you for tonight. What is your greatest investment and why?
My fiance.
Ooh, okay.
Absolutely. Because, you know, not only are you investing love, which is, I mean, priceless, right? You're investing your time, you're taking risks, right? but like the necessary risks
Yeah.
in order to build something valuable. And
Yeah.
a home is priceless, man.
Yeah. Building something everlasting.
Yeah, man. And you can only build a home, like a true home, in my opinion, when you found that special someone, you know?
Yeah. It's important. It's important. Hey, man. Kudos to you. A shout out. Shout out. All right, yo, give them your socials.
So, you know,
Let them know where to catch you.
it's Cinno.official across all platforms. You know, it's TikTok, Instagram, Snapchat. That's where you find me at. So, you know, I'll see you there.
Perfect. And that is straight facts. Hey, that was great, man.
Thank you, bro. Thank you.
That was a good conversation, man.
Of course.